All right, I got another fun one for you guys. So, I had this idea about a week ago, last Sunday, not yesterday Sunday, but the Sunday before that. To better learn sign language, I am going to learn Bible verses that I already have committed to memory and just learn how to sign those words to it. So, I'm going to sign a Bible verse. Should I do the thing again where you guys have to guess what it is? But I'm going to do it with my eyes closed. So I got my cheat sheet right here with where I wrote down on one side of the paper all the words for that Bible verse, like this 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then on the side of that, I wrote down a way that I would understand if I'm explaining it to myself, if I have to write it down. I'll just look it up on the computer. I'll type in right there, ASL EVO, American Sign Language and EVO, and how do I do it? Now, the one thing you need to be cognizant of is that a lot of times there's multiple ways to sign the same word. Like for EVO, one video is doing that, but there's another video where I saw a person going like that and another person going something like that. So I'm trying to work my way through this. I'm trying to figure it all out. But I think I have this down. And I'm going to try to do this without referring to the cheat sheet. I might have to look at it like once or twice. But I know this Bible verse, and then after this, I'm going to try and do John 3:16. I'll tell you what this Bible verse is after I'm done with it. But it's very relevant to this channel. All right. See if I can do this. Eyes are shut. This one I'm not really sure how to do. I think it's something like that. Okay. And this one I'm not really sure either. And then, all right. Hey, I did it. Now, what was that Bible verse? What's the name of this YouTube channel? Pursuing 222. Guys, remember why I call it Pursuing 222? Because it comes after one of my very first memory verses, 2 Timothy 2:22. So I thought, if I'm going to do this plan that I was talking about, I should pick the very first verse, not the very, very first verse I memorized. That was actually Psalm 16:5, or no, 16:15. Was it 16:15 or 16:5? Sorry, I should know that. That was my very first verse that I ever memorized. Well, I mean, if you don't count John 3:16, everybody knows John 3:16, but that's what I'm probably going to do next. So, Pursuing 222 comes from 2 Timothy 2:22. Flee the evil desire of youth. I used to say flee the evil, or I used to say it like slightly different, but flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call upon the Lord out of a pure heart. So this is flee. You put your finger right there and just go out like that. You're fleeing, getting out of there. Now the word the, I think you just kind of point off to the side. You don't have to sign all the words to American Sign Language. Now, again, I'm not a professional at this by any means, so don't take my word for it. So evil desires, that I saw somebody do this. I don't know if you're supposed to go like this, bring it inwards or not, but I kind of saw that motion. And I just finger spell of, O-F. That's O, that's F, youth. And, this is and then pursue is one video I saw, he was going like this, like 2 circles going inward to the left hand, or the left fist. And righteousness, this is an R, and you go like this. Holiness is 2 fingers, and you go like that. So I would write it like you're brushing off the dust off your finger. I don't know why that's holiness, but I mean, if this is holiness, then it makes sense for that to be righteousness, I suppose. You just got to make sure you see if you're doing that or doing that. Excuse me. I was just eating a bunch of pizza, and I got that stuck in my throat. The word, okay, so pursue righteousness, faith. So point at your temple to grabbing a rope. So I guess it's your belief in your head, and you're holding on to something. You have faith in something. Love and peace. Now, this one is the one I said I wasn't really sure. It was something like that for peace. I wrote down like, well, I didn't write it on this one. I think I wrote on a different one. Like you're putting on gloves or something, and then going like that. I have to double check on that one. I might be wrong. And then along, just two fingers going alongside each other like that. With is just two fists together, with each other. Those, so you kind of point off to the side a little bit, or point forward and then brush off to the side. You're saying like those people. Okay, so those, who, this is who, what, where, when, why. I think this might be also why, I think. Let's see. Okay, so where did I leave off? So who, call, on, so that's just simply like this. You kind of put it in the middle. So on. The, again, if you want to point. Lord, this is Lord. Out is basically just taking your right hand out of your left hand. Just like that. Of, fingers spell, and again, you don't necessarily have to spell every word, but I'm doing it for the sake of my memorization, I guess. Peer this is a weird one. I don't know why this would be peer, but it looked like the guy was cutting his hand and then brushing it off. So you're cutting away the chaff maybe and brushing, making it peer, whatever. You're cutting off the bad part of the bread. Get that moldy part of the bread out of here. But you shouldn't be eating moldy bread anyway, even if one part is moldy and you cut it off. You got to throw that whole thing away. And then heart, take your middle finger and you just touch your heart right there. So like, yeah, that's heart. This is love. This is just saying I love you. I say that to my wife all the time. I love you, Cassie. And I was doing my vow the other day, and I remember doing this, and then I did one twice like that. So I don't know if that's another way to say heart. I can't remember. But that's why I'm learning this. But anyway, there you go. That is how to say 2 Timothy 2:22 the Kurt Siebold way, which might be wrong. But at least I am trying. But hey, this is fun. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to try to do John 3:16 next, I believe. So let's maybe work on that.